Everyone knows a helicopter parent, extremely overprotective. They're watching their child's every move, whatever they do. But there's a new hovering causing family issues, helicopter kids. These are the grown-up children of the elderly who are controlling and smothering their parents. Well, we're now joined by psychotherapist and the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Think, Act, and Be Happy. Give me a D, give me an O, give me a W. I will give you Dr. Mike Dow.
Thank you for that warm welcome, Dr. Travis. Nice to see you. Dr. Nita.
So, Dr.
Ordon.
D, what this sounds like to me a little bit is what comes around goes around. Like,
Yeah.
Like, why are the kids doing this to their parents now? Maybe they got that as kids.
Yeah, absolutely. They're turning that around, and it's a cycle. And, you know, if you are the kind of helicopter parent to a 5-year-old, you know, we have all these baby boomers.
I definitely was not, nor was my wife. We were like,
a little bit hands off.
oh yeah, kids, you're gonna learn.
Good.
On your own.
And by the way, you know, you have 2 incredible aspiring physicians or now
they're
physician
physicians.
children, and that probably taught them how to be that way. And you know, that distance, you know, you allow your children to make mistakes. And by the way, when you have those older parents, the same rule applies, right? So remember that when it comes to the brain, there's this phenomenon, use it or lose it, right? So when you have a child, you have a developing brain, but when you have an aging brain, you know, I have a grandparent, my mom's a baby boomer, and so I have this great grandfather who's been on the show actually, and he's in an assisted living, and he needs a little bit of extra help these days. But when it comes to the brain and you have mild cognitive impairment or the brain is slowing down, we don't want to overhelp, right? Because when it comes to the brain, remember that phrase, use it or lose it. So you want to find that sweet spot, and you don't want to help too much because you really do want to keep that brain active as long as you can.
Mike, I think what you're saying is there are a lot of similarities between kids, children, and the elderly.
Yeah.
You know, for different reasons. They need help, they need to be directed, but there's a right and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's about finding that sweet spot. You know, on one end of the spectrum, it's like, oh my God, you know, my mom, she's a little bit anxious. She's gonna kill me for saying this, but you know, as a researcher of the mind, there's one way we can assess for somebody's anxiety, and it's their startle response. So this is my mom. You know, whenever I do something, and that's how we know somebody's anxious. And that person may have low levels of serotonin, and if that's you may be a helicopter parent to a 5-year-old, and you may also be a helicopter kid to your mother or father, right? And if that's you gotta check in with yourself, right?
All right, so let's get to where this sweet spot is, because that is a tough sweet spot.
It really is.
It's not always this massive sweet spot, because you do want to make sure that your elderly parent or grandparent isn't suffering, isn't harming themselves.
That's right.
But you do want them to continue to develop or use their cognitive capabilities. How do you find the sweet spot?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that they're safe. So you'd walk in, and if their place is a mess and they're falling, then yeah, you want to help them. But you also want to let them have the dignity. You want to let them use their brains, their bodies, so that they can continue to be active as much and for as long as possible. So you want to find that sweet spot, right? It's like Goldilocks, not too much, not too little, but bam, just right.
Is there a good way to have the conversation? Like, are there certain words you should use or shouldn't use when saying, I want to help you with this, or?
Eye language. So here's what not to say. You. Dad, you gotta stop driving. You're gonna kill somebody, right? That's very shaming, right? And what do we do as human beings? We're defensive. I can still drive. I'm fine, right? So you turn that around to eye language, and you also offer help. So let me model this a little bit. Dad, I'm really concerned about your driving. Can I take you to get your eyes checked? Can I help you so that you're not driving at night anymore? Can we all help you so that you maybe are only driving during the day? Oh, okay, right? You see how there's a different way that we approach that? So then people are more apt to say, oh, okay, maybe I can start to think about that, and finding that sweet spot for our aging parents or grandparents or great-grandparents.
Full of useful info every time, Dr. Dow. Thanks so much for sharing
Thank you
your
so much for
insights.
having me.